Hello everyone, this is your favorite foxy waifu here, Mizuki Ravendale, and today we are continuing Course Party. Course Party Book Show. So let's go ahead and get this started. Yes. Okay, so whoops, wrong button. I believe we was heading here last time. Come on, Yuka, we got this. We can be strong together. I feel bad for her throughout the whole series. She's the youngest one out of the whole thing. First peculiar room was shuddering ever so slightly as if there were a breeze blowing against it gently from inside. Oh god, something hesitantly, I put both hands on the door and started to turn. I don't like the name that it's called body pool, because it's probably a pool full of dead bodies. It doesn't connect to an exit, Yuka. This door opened even a crack. A powerful, horrible stench slid into my face and twisted around my nasal cavities like a jet of water. Yeah! I was instantly feeling nauseous and lightheaded, as if I were suddenly deprived of oxygen. Yep. You could get out of there. There's no water in here. Holding my nose, I stepped back into the room and crept over towards the source of the noise. There were water here, maybe I could wash my hands, I thought. My extreme thirst came back full force as well. Clean water was the greatest thing I could have possibly found at this point. Yuka, I don't think it's water. Soon clicked over a bucket, spilling its contents onto the ground in front of me. Countless flies of baby flew out from the overturned bucket and began swarming all around me. Their buzzing wings sounded right up against my ears as if they were attacking me. I let go of my nose and began flailing my arms while I attempted in vain to drive them away. As I haphazardly stepped forward, I felt my foot splashing in shallow wicked. Mere moments later, my hand came in contact with a wall, brushed against the switch. I heard a faint clicking sound, and then the lights blinked on and I got a clear look at the room I was standing in. Yeah, those are definitely bodies. A large portion of the floor had been dug out into something resembling a pool, which was filled with stagnant, discolored water and dismembered bodies. Bodies were decomposing a lot faster than they naturally would on account of the wetness. Most of them had swarms of maggots instead of faces. Ew! Several bodies had actually washed up on the ground outside the pool as well. Those few that still had limbs looked that they may lose them any moment. Their torsos were all swollen and black and everything else was bone white. Closest body was spurting a sappy mucus from its nose and mouth and staring at me with an ugly ew! Thick fluid coming out of it was reddish brown in color and seemed to be a disgusting mixture of blood and dead bugs. Ew! Some sort of huge door high on the top of the wall opened up and I could clearly feel a breeze blowing through the room. It was a trash chute? I was afraid of what might be coming through that hole, so I put some distance between it and myself. Something heavy fell from above and splashed into the pool, spraying my face with rotten stagnant water. Body that had just fallen into the pool of water was wearing its school uniform. As soon as it touched the liquid, it began bowing, melting into it as if it were a bag of ingredients tossed into a stew pot. Ugh. One poor victim's lungs floated to the surface, giving the whole scene even more of a sick stew pot appearance. Ew! Dragged my wet foot on a dry part of the ground for a second or two, then made a dash for the door. Oh, Yuka, you poor child! As soon as I was back out in the hall, I fell to my knees in shock. I couldn't even move. The smell of death in the cave was still sticking to me and still trying to snake its way into my nose. It was all I could do not to throw up on the spot. Hadn't eaten anything for hours, so I'm not even sure what I would have actually thrown up, but I still felt like I had to, more strongly than ever before. Maybe it would have been best just to let it come out. I'm sure I would have felt better afterward, but I honestly didn't want to see my opponent right now. After all that other disgusting things I'd seen, I'd had enough. Times like this especially, I really longed for my big brother. If only he were here with me. Cried out for him as if in prayer. Don't you do it. There's a little girl here with arm outstretched begging for help. I rushed over to her side. She was faintly glowing. All I could do for her was offer physical cover. If I rode her back, maybe she'd feel better. Her grimaced again as if she were experiencing some new pain all of a sudden. Jerry brushed my hand against the little girl's face, wiping away her tears. No, it just mattered, but I already really felt for her. She had a lot worse than I did. Yuka, only if you knew. Next time she gets a tiny little hand in my own and pulled her to her feet. She was so thin and light compared to my own. Not just light, it almost felt like it was completely weightless. So she kept noticing me stagger her, and I must have had a quiet look on my face. This seemed to bother her, so I did my best to force a smile. Sure, she was worried I'd leave her all by herself again, and I wanted to make sure she knew I was there for her. She lowered her head and looked like she was about to cry. I took Sachiko's hand in both of mine, turning to face her and ducking down low so our eyes were level. Didn't have to think for a moment, since I knew I couldn't take a ghost with me very far. But again, I also knew I couldn't just leave her. Her head was still down, but her eyes were peeking up at me. She looked nervous, but for the first time since we started talking, she also looked hopeful. Honestly, I was only two. I probably wanted her with me just as bad as she wanted someone with her. Ghost or no. Turned to head back down the hall, but was stopped by Sachiko tugging on my uniform. She was wearing a forced smile on her face, but still looked uneasy. What was she going to tell me to do? I was surprised by the question. I wasn't sure how best to respond, but the longer I thought about it, the more uneasy she looked. So. I was curious something specific she had in mind, but I wasn't going to push her about it. She'd asked me when she was ready. She seemed satisfied with my answer. I let go of my uniform. So, hand in hand, we continued down the hall, searching my big brother. Yuka, you don't... Honey, you don't realize what you just did. Let's go here. Oh, boy, Yuka. Poor child. That's all she said, and then silently she squatted on the ground and wrapped her arms around her knees. She nodded firmly, almost exaggerated. Oh, poor girl. Yeah. As if to show me just how close she was, she started visibly shivering. Yuka, you are so nice. This is the first time I noticed that Sachiko was walking around barefoot. I was so busy worrying about myself and about finding my big brother that I completely failed to pay any attention to poor Sachiko's appearance. Sachiko shook her head. If I were big brother, I would have noticed right away and given her my shoes. But it wasn't too late. I took off my shoes and socks and offered them to Sachiko. They were a little wet, but still better than walking on these cold dirt floors in bare feet. Didn't really like the idea of doing that myself, but just one look at this poor girl's lost soul's shaking form convinced me I was doing the right thing. Oh god, Sachiko took just the socks, leaving the shoes in my hand. She flashed a gentle smile at me, which stayed on her face the whole time. She slowly put on both of my socks. Patted her head just like Big Brother always did to me. Her smile had grown. It now stretched from cheek to cheek, and I began to feel like I'd do anything at all to keep her happy. I wonder if this was how Big Brother felt when I smiled at him like that. Despite the severity of the situation, I was in high spirits. I almost forgot just how horrible this place really was. Thought that was a giggle, but it sounded different somehow, like her voice had changed to someone else's or someone else was here. What was it? They say in movies must have been the wind. Not too likely in a stinking underground bunker like this, but still. With the bravest face I could manage and marched back out into the hall, pausing only to make sure Sachiko was still behind me. Okay. I know not much happened here, guys, but I'm gonna end it here. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And hit that notification bell for updates on all my videos. And this has been your Foxy Waifu. Signing off. Bye, everyone. We can't let evil win take them out. This is justice, this is what's right.